Hello, I'm Ben Hastings, and this is our Spark remediation project. I'm just going to be running Spark in preview mode because present mode just keeps on shutting in and out. It's just not a very good system, really, for presenting online like this. I don't know why that is, but I'll just run it in preview mode just so I don't have to be switching back and forth so much. So our first project was the magazine project. I'm just going to go ahead and open that right quick. But yeah, we worked a lot in InDesign. Mine was titled the Note Nation Weekly, which became a running theme for both this and the podcast assignment. I had to make a lot of changes. I thank you, Dr. Mitchell, for helping me so much. I sent him several submissions, and he was very, very good about getting back to me and working on some different things. The cover page is probably the hardest part here. I did have a different image in the background, but it didn't work well with the text or anything like that. So, and it was actually a stock photo I found on the Utah Jazz Organization site, and it just wasn't working for me. So I ended up just taking this in Photoshop and photoshopping this whole thing together. And I actually like it better doing that than just the image they gave me. The text, I did a little bit of typography work just to make sure that the text popped out a little bit more, which was very helpful considering the background. It seems to be, it's hard to get a right color on there. So yeah, and a couple other things that we ended up changing is some of the border boxes that separate the text from the images. Some of it was kind of off. Dr. Mitchell helped me with that, and some of them were adjusted. I still have a little bit of work I should probably do on those just to get them fixed. This thumbnail right here, I photoshopped a couple players like walking towards the arena just to kind of humanize them a little bit. Dr. Mitchell wasn't so much of a fan as I was, so I ended up just taking it out, but it still looks good either way, I think. I think it could work good either with the Photoshop or without it. If I had to go back, the one thing I would do is I would definitely kind of fix some more of the borders around some of the pictures. And also the content. So the content, I believe the original prompt was how would you personally get to manage a basketball team, like the steps that you would take to get there. And I kind of wrote about the steps you would take once you're already there. So I feel like I did a good job writing it, but I definitely didn't follow the prompt correctly. So I would definitely change that for next time. So going back to our next project here, let's see, we have the podcast assignment. And so I entitled it the Note Nation Podcast because it correlated to the magazine project. There was a subtitle in there linking to the podcast assignment. So I'll just play the intro because I think this is my favorite part and summed up the podcast the best.
Plumlee takes it, faces up Gobert, puts a shoulder down. Oh, get that out of here. By Gobert. Crossover, Mitchell into a rebound. He came in hot, went up high. It's Bogdanovich, corner, wide open. Up. Got it! It's over! Bogey beats Milwaukee!
You're listening to the Note Nation Podcast.
Hello, Note Nation. Welcome back to episode 23 of the Note Nation Podcast. Okay, so for that, I found a whole bunch of YouTube videos that were more or less archives of different games and everything, and I just recorded the voiceover from those and then kind of drag and dropped them in there with audio transitions on each one of them. And I tried to smooth out the transitions between, get the audio levels right, and this is the Note, you're listening to the Note Nation Podcast. That was actually my voice, but I didn't like my voice exactly. I wanted someone with a deeper voice, so I ended up just taking my voice and adding a slowdown effect to it, giving it that deeper tone, and it was something more that I wanted, and so I like that. I also sent this one to Dr. Mitchell, and his feedback was some of the audio levels were definitely messed up. Some of them were higher during transition, some of them were lower. So I went in there and I actually changed around a lot of the audio levels, and that seemed to help. The podcast a lot. But overall, I loved it. I did a whole bunch of original commercials for it. I came up with my own ideas. Let me see if I can find one right quick. Today, the Utah Jazz Organization wants every listener of this podcast to know about 5 for the Fight. 5 for the Fight is a non-profit organization that invites everyone to help fight against cancer by simply donating $5 to the cause. It is an organization crowdfunding for cancer research. It is something that everyone can do and provides a way for every single person to contribute to a cause that is literally saving lives. Your question may be, how can I contribute to the cause? listeners to this. All right, we're just gonna go ahead and pause that there. But yeah, I added kind of more of a a deeper tone to the message and everything, and kind of I wanted to give a shout out to something that's real, because that's actually the Utah Jazz's Cancer Association that does that. So I definitely wanted to make people aware of that. The first commercial I did was actually just something I made up on the spot. The second one was actually a real event that they do, so I kind of wanted to incorporate in there. So yeah, going back here, just I completely forgot this before, but for the magazine project, I actually watched a YouTuber, and his name is Dansky, and he actually does a very good job. He does like tutorial videos and stuff like that. And so as much as a hard time I had with Illustrator and everything like that, he summed it up into a nice package where I could actually understand it. And Dr. Mitchell's video sources also help with that. So both those helped me. I've already done Illustrator before in a previous class, but it's been a while, so I needed a refresher course. So this was a good refresher on Illustrator. And with Adobe Spark, I've never worked with Adobe Spark before. This is my first time, and I actually loved it. I enjoyed working with it. I didn't know anything going in, but the D2L Adobe Audition forum that was provided by Dr. Mitchell, that was just night and day from my knowledge. Like that helps so much, especially with adjusting the audio levels and even I forget what it's called, like the light patterns in it. You can edit out the light patterns, and it actually helps get out certain noises. And that was very helpful for what I was doing. And so then the last project we did was obviously the video project. I did mine on a card throwing tutorial. And I'm just going to go ahead and turn the audio down here a little bit. Today I'm going to teach you guys 3 different... But yes, so I kind of just recorded this with my brother on his smartphone, and we kind of did it outside. It was really hard to get the lighting right, and we didn't have any stabilizer option except on the phone. The biggest problem is that the phone, the stabilizer effect they had on the phone actually ended up ruining it in post. So yeah, it was very hard to edit in post, because if I added the stabilizer effect to the videos, it would actually corrupt the file, and then I would have to delete the whole thing and start over again. So we just had to leave it. So if I had to go back and do this project, that would definitely be the one thing I changed. The things I like that I did in here is I put a good overview. I did a little bit of the history of it, different cards that they had back in the day. I also did some different media, like League of Legends. I did like the Now You See Me movie part of it. Let's see if we can find it here. There we go. And so yeah, they're kind of throwing the card around the room. And then I did my own tutorial, just showing kind of the basics of it, how to correctly throw it. And then we get into some deeper stuff, like different trick shots you can do. Which honestly, I love doing trick shots. So all these projects I did are more passion projects. A lot of the transitions I actually got from, his name is Yannick Thunison, and it was an article online. And he gives like some pro tricks to work in Premiere with transitions and different animations and stuff, which I do. Especially if we go back to these, you can see the slow zoom out, and this is a still picture, but the animation definitely helps bring some life to it there. And yeah, so we go down, we do target throwing, and I feel like the video went very well. I had a really fun time with it. If I had to go back and do anything else, like I said, it'd be filming it on an actual camera. I could stabilize some stuff on it. And then lighting, I wish I had better lighting, but I did the best with what I had. I even edited post, and it still didn't look great, but yeah, those are kind of the biggest things. But I think I did a lot of things well, like I said, with the transitions and animations and getting the different history and other media parts in there. So, yeah, also thank you, Dr. Mitchell, for the feedback on this. It was very helpful. So now we're just going to jump right back into Spark here. And so, yep, that is actually it. So thank you so much for watching. I had a really fun time with this now. The Spark project, I have to say, I do not like Adobe Spark at all. Personally, not Photoshop, but PowerPoint has just so much more to offer than Spark. Like when I'm working with Spark, it's like just pictures and even the text. You can't add color to the text. You can't add effects to the text. It's basically a place to put pictures. I don't know. This is not my thing. But I mean, it's easy to use and all, but they just have no features unless you buy like a premium version, and even then PowerPoint still blows it out of the water. But all the other projects I feel like were great. I like I said, they're all passion projects. They're stuff I'm actually wanting to do in the future. And I've worked with Illustrator before. I've worked with all of them before except for Audition, and this class definitely helped me with Audition. That's probably my favorite project. But yeah, going back, I had a really fun time this semester. I really appreciate Dr. Mitchell for all the feedback he gave me. And I would definitely recommend this class to everyone. The only thing I wouldn't recommend is, like I said, Spark, just because it's just not there yet. I don't know. I've never enjoyed working in Spark. It's not hard. It's just not. Like going back and over this video, there's really nothing else I could probably change with it, just because there's just not that many options for it. So I don't know. It's just a personal preference. But overall, I really enjoyed the class. I enjoyed its structure. And thank you so much for an awesome semester. See you, everyone.